Hello, it's Classy here, back with another Tribes video, and today I'm going to be showcasing 6-star T Gaara. The arena clips will be provided by J Ray from server 8, and big shout out to him for providing all of the clips. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at his art, and I went over these a little bit in a previous video, but I think for an SR, his 3-star art and his 5-star art are both well done, and the color scheme overall fits his character very well, and it looks nice with the animations. His special ninjutsu is the sand barrage, which is a little bit different, and I didn't expect that to be his jutsu. And his tribe special with Naruto looks pretty nice, where Naruto is hiding inside of the sand coffin with his Rasengan. For his stats, his first skill, which is his special ninjutsu, is the Barrage Sand Shower, which deals 100% plus 260% damage to one enemy. It boosts all allies attack by 18%, and it boosts all allies damage reduction rate by 16%. So since this is a T Gaara, it makes sense that he's boosting both attack related stats and defense related stats as a T unit, which is kind of like a middle ground between A and D, and usually supportive. And of course he has the power crept numbers on his single target jutsu, so he'll be doing a good amount of damage. And overall these boosts are pretty significant because they affect all of the allies in the team, so it could be up to 9 characters getting these buffs. For his second skill, he deals 100% plus 28% damage to one enemy, which is normal. It will boost all active allies guard rate by 13% for the rest of the battle. So this time it will be only affecting the 3 units in Gaara's cell, including him, and overall this is just a pretty decent second skill. It will give all 3 units an extra layer of protection. Since he's a T unit, he'll get a HP increase, and his fourth skill will boost all active allies damage reduction rate by 27% if going last. So this is interesting because not many units so far have skills related to going last, but this actually is useful even in arena, although some people might not notice it, because the way arena works is that the cells are not always matched up to each other when they're battling. So in the beginning, your 4th cell might be facing their energy cell, and vice versa, for example. So basically, if you have Gaara in a cell that's not energy cell, and you get unlucky in that he's facing the opponent's energy cell and he's not in your energy cell, this will be giving your units an extra defensive buff, so it can be helpful for having your team survive even though they're going second in the battle. So usually in arena, the cell that goes first will have an advantage because they can take out a unit with their 3 attacks, but if we have Gaara in a cell, he can help those units survive, so it will be more fair even though you're going second. And of course, if your speeds are so different in that your spirit or 4 cells faster than their energy cell, then obviously this will be less useful. But for the average player, it will be useful as long as you make sure to keep Gaara in a cell that's not energy, so his 4th skill can give you an advantage. And for his vitality, he has chakra plus 1000 at the start of each turn after the second turn. So as he is rotating in, he has a chance of filling up his chakra bar if he's not the first cell to be fighting. So yeah, overall, people might not think that Gaara is that useful, but he has use in both PvE and PvP modes, And as a PvE enemy, he was especially annoying because his fort skill would always proc, since the player's units are always faster than the enemy units in PvE. So now we're going to take a look at some arena clips. Alright, so I'm here with J-Ray's Gaara, and I actually misspoke earlier. This is a 5-star Gaara, but it's been upgraded a lot. So he has 52,000 power, and for the stats, the guard rate is quite high for this Gaara, and he has good reduction rates, which are defensive stats, and his damage increase rate, his critical rate are also pretty high, as well as his critical damage increase rate. So in general, a pretty good all-around unit, which makes sense for a T unit. And he has pretty good stats, like not really lacking in that many areas. For his links, Kankuro and Temari, which makes sense. Naruto and Kakashi with the Mangekyo Sharingan. And the last one will be Danzo and Ai, which makes sense also because they're the other Kages. So yeah, tier 15, pretty good, lots of maxed out abilities, and all the maxed out gears, and some scrolls also. And for limit break, he'll boost all active allies guard rate if going last. And if he's going first, he'll actually boost damage increase rate. So this kind of offsets one of the problems he had earlier with his fort skill, which only procs when going last. So if you limit break to him, which should be pretty easy for an SR, you can offset that and still get the benefits that I described earlier. So we're going to hop into arena now. And it doesn't look like we're going to be facing their energy cell, so only the limit broken part of the fort skill should be triggering here. Interesting. So he'll use his barrage sand shower. Pretty good animation. It's just kind of weird that it's not AoE though, to be honest. So 183k damage, which is very solid for the same type damage. And you can see the damage reduction rate up, attack up, damage reduction rate up. So those are the two boosts that he was giving from his first jutsu that I discussed. So both offensive and defensive, which is nice. And yeah, that probably helped Kakashi hit harder and also heavy. Oh, okay, so basically this Gaara hasn't been LB2'd yet, which is the reason why his fort skill isn't proccing. So yeah, in this case where our units are a lot faster, his fort skill isn't going to proc because he has to go last. But with LB2, his fort skill, or at least part of it, would proc. But we can see the sand shower again to see how much damage he does. Alright, so 198k for type damage down. So that's definitely a very good damage number, and it was also a crit. And as we can remember, Gaara had pretty good stats for critical damage and critical rate increase, which makes sense here. And he'll be giving all of his allies attack up again, and then damage reduction rate up. So yeah, to maximize his potential, make sure to LB2 Gaara, and don't put him in energy, and hope you enjoyed the video and learned a lot.